Hey, it's Fort Worth Playboy.
And my Playboys Bunny.
And welcome to our podcast where we discuss pickup, game, relationships, and...
Sex.
And after a brief holiday break, we're back. And today we're going to talk about a topic that comes up with a lot of men.
Lots.
It's a common question. The guys are baffled. Why are girls addicted to social media?
Yes.
And it really, that's a short title for... My girlfriend takes 100 pictures a day of herself, of her food, of her friends, of me, of her dog, of her car, of her leg, of her foot, and posts them on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
You just name it. And
she's all
on
over
it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, and in foreign countries, it's going to be different social media.
Yeah. Yes.
And it baffles men.
Oh, absolutely, and rightfully so.
Yeah, and I think the original question was like, why do they take 100 more? Why do they do this at 100 times the rate men do?
Exactly.
So there's a very succinct answer.
I hope so. I hope it's succinct. I'm not really known for my succinctness.
Okay.
But the bottom line is, girls' oxygen is attention. So we need the attention from everything that we are doing to continue to live.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the bottom line. So we're going to share our food. We're going to share our business things. We're going to share our family. We're going to share our selfies. We're going to share our man. We're going to share where we are traveling, what we're driving, what our pets are doing, all of the above and more, because we need the feedback. We need the feedback constantly, on a constant loop. And so it's just necessary that we post it in order to gain that feedback.
And even though I know that girls thrive on attention, and it's like a driving factor in everything you do.
It is.
I still forget it.
Sure.
I even asked you this. I was like, what's the reason? You're like, well, girls are attention whores. There's no other, for lack of a better phrase. And for guys, for women, everything is about emotion and connection and relationships. And it is a way to kind of branch out into all these different relationships and get feedback. And men don't have that. Therefore, I think that's why, even though I know logically, the attention factor, but I forget because it's not natural. Like they're always telling guys, go build in silence and all that, which I don't really buy into too much. But there's a lot of guys that might not talk to another person all day.
Right.
Think nothing
but
of
especially not on social media.
No. So many men, if they don't have a reason for it for their business, they're not there.
Right. It's true. They
don't have to be.
Yeah.
I haven't posted on Facebook in a year.
You haven't had to. I've done it for you.
Posted.
You're welcome.
Exactly. And that's the truth. Because when I'm at a party and the guy goes, I don't have social media, I go, well, you haven't missed anything.
No, it's true. It's true. Well, and that it does baffle men because you don't operate in the same way. The flip side of that is girls are also on social media when they're not posting themselves. They're trying to theoretically give validation to their friends by liking their things, but really they're playing the comparison game. So it is a caustic environment.
Where it becomes a little unhealthy.
Yeah, it is a caustic environment at best. But the flip side, the rub is, if you, as a female, if you post on social media and are like, I'm just going to share so that, the family can see what we're doing, or blah, blah, or, so-and-so can see the latest school pictures of the kids, or...
Which is a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah. I am solely responsible for getting a lot of old people on social media, because otherwise I was having to email everyone photos.
No.
But the flip side is, or the rub becomes, when you don't look at what other people are doing, it comes up in conversation. Oh yeah, we were at the Cape. Oh yeah, back to school pictures. Oh yeah, she wore this new thing. Oh yeah, she got, so-and-so got braces. And if you haven't known it, you look like an asshole.
That's interesting.
So it's bad for you to be on there, and it's bad for you not to be on there as a female.
Interesting. Well, and also, I think you guys derive literally a greater physical enjoyment.
Yes.
From, I guess,
the likes.
Validation. Yeah. Whereas guys are like, whatever.
Right.
There's no metric. It doesn't. They don't feel better.
Oh, girls will delete a post if it doesn't get, if they don't feel like it's getting enough traction
right
so to speak, even though it's a casual personal relation or personal account, not necessarily anything business related. If they're not getting enough likes, they'll delete the post.
You will only see men do that when it's part of their business.
Yes.
And they don't believe that it's striking the right chord.
Exactly.
They'll delete it, reword it, and put it back up. But
it's true.
If it's just them and their dog, or them at a wedding and their wife's like, put that picture up.
Yeah.
Your mom wants to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
But another thing that we've seen quite a lot of, and I'm sure there are a lot of you guys out there who have, is women who, and maybe you don't know what you're looking at, so we're going to tell you. Women who are quote unquote in business, who will post a completely arbitrary verbiage, let's say, and essentially use as an excuse to post a picture of themselves.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bizarre habit that drives me absolutely berserk.
Or at least once every quarter, a girl will post. And there's multiple reasons for this, but she'll be like, married men, stop contacting me.
Oh, my God.
I'm only here for business. Well, it's to kind of convey to her, and they're always in their 40s,
40s and 50s.
Yeah, they're like, they want other girls to know that
they're being sought
after. And, I'm not here for entertainment. I'm here for my business, whatever.
Sure.
And you have no idea what her business is because you've never seen anything.
No. Funny how that works. You never actually see the business. But, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of
what do you call it?
Attention-seeking whores?
Yeah, there's that.
I mean, and in all fairness,
signaling.
Yes, they're definitely signaling that they're single. They're signaling that they're available, and they're signaling that they're
single. Girl gets a Jeep. She's like, I'm looking for something.
Yeah.
And this is all completely different. This there's guys that I know that encourage guys to build their Instagram.
Sure.
This is completely different than that.
Absolutely.
I mean, for guys that social media is an important part of their
It's literally
life.
a tool.
Yeah, they use it to pick up girls, and it works.
Yeah.
But we're kind of talking to the guys that go,
she never puts the phone down, and she's always scrolling on social media.
It's baffling. It's baffling to them. They're like, they may never even look at it.
True.
Ever. It's like
girls will take 100 selfies a day, post 5 of them, and it'll be with some text about, something about their lives, or a quote, or something inspirational, or a story, and you're like, this photo, number one, has nothing to do with what you're talking about. But it's just a reason, an excuse to post a picture of themselves.
Yeah, and there's guys, there's girls that we know that are married. We haven't seen a picture of their husband in years.
Exactly.
Well, because it's not on his radar.
It's not on his radar, but she's not posting pictures of him either, which is a whole other concern. Yeah. There are a few men who I know who are absolutely opposed to having their pictures posted on social media.
I can see that.
It just makes them uncomfortable.
Well, for a lot of guys, and this is a way one guy conveyed it, he said, when I'm on social media, I feel like I'm standing in the lingerie department.
Yeah.
At a store. I feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And there's reasons for that.
There are. Absolutely. But most guys, it's not that they are vehemently opposed to their photos being shared on social media. It's just that their wife doesn't post pictures of them. No. And that's another concern.
Whole different thing. Just like the signaling. That's a whole different podcast.
That's signaling that there's trouble in paradise is what that's signaling.
That's, I mean, you're like, she's married? I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it catches you
Did
off
they
guard.
get divorced? No, they've been married for 20 years. What?
Exactly.
You
exactly.
know, if she never is showing pictures with her husband, and it's not because he has specifically told her we aren't doing that.
Yeah.
You know. And you know those guys, because you know she's also not posting a bunch of just sexy selfies and stuff either.
No. It's
anyway, I mean, it's the bottom line is girls are addicted to social media because it's attention and because attention is our oxygen. That's the easiest way to look at it.
Let me ask an off question.
Okay.
Before social media, let's say like you were like in your teens in the 90s.
Yeah.
Let's say like how did your mom get it? I mean, was it not important, or was it not important, or did girls have lower levels of need for it because it wasn't available? Does that make sense?
First of all,
for
my mother was a happily married, non-social whore. But
yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, what would a housewife? How would she get attention if this thing is so important to women? Is it?
I think that's
the relationships.
I think that's where they would spend hours on the phone, the telephone, during the day when the men were at work and the kids were at school. I know my mom did a lot of that.
Fascinating.
Another thing that my mother specifically did was she and her girlfriends would make cassette tapes of each other essentially talking, telling each other stories, what's going on in their world, what's going on with their kids, and they would mail them back and forth because telephone calls were expensive. Back in the day,
calls were a few dollars a minute.
It was, you know.
That is hilarious.
If you're talking about like the 80s and 90s.
I vaguely remember that.
When my mom was a stay-at-home mom, that's what they would do.
But their tolerance or their need, they satisfied it through their relationships throughout their family and the kids and church.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's why so many women, especially then, I don't know now because I don't pay attention to television. My mother didn't watch soap operas, but I feel like soap operas were kind of the social media of the time.
Yeah.
In that they had like
drama.
They had people you were watching. You had your voyeurism. They had the stories. So
Affluence.
yeah. So even though you weren't necessarily getting attention from that, it kind of satisfied a similar urge that you get on as watching social media.
Fascinating.
I think they're very similar.
So the bottom line is, why is she on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram? Attention. And the feelings that it provides, you know.
And just kind of as a side note, if you are a married man and your wife is on social media a lot, if she's posting pictures of herself looking like hell, if she's posting pictures of herself with no makeup, or she's sharing pictures, family pictures or whatever, that aren't necessarily flattering of her, but are great of the kids or whatever, you have nothing to worry about. Not all women who are posting pictures of their families and of themselves are whoring about it or signaling that they need something more. I want to be real clear because there are women, and it's a distinct difference between the women who care about making sure that they are always looking very good, like better than you ever see them, and the girls who look normal.
Yeah.
The girls who look normal are there because they want to share pictures with the family. They want to make sure that people, see the fun things that y'all are doing as a family and how the kids are growing. That's completely different than what we're talking about.
Yeah. That's the bottom line.
And it's not a concern.
No. In the vast majority, there isn't a concern.
Yeah.
It's,
But you know it when you see it.
You know it when you see it.
But that's why the girls are attention whoring.
That's fascinating.
That's just what it is.
If you guys like this video or like this podcast, click like, comment below. I mean, especially if you guys are like, yeah, I made her get off of it.
We'd love to know your stories.
We like to hear the commentary. We like to hear your stories of how you dealt with it.
Yeah.
And if like a girl got just too out of control.
Yeah. And I would say, if you're dealing with this at all in your world at a negative level, Fort Worth Playboy's book on dread is a good resource, because what dread does is it knocks these girls who are a little bit too big for their boots down a few notches. And it just kind of
gets them back in line.
It does. It gets them back in line. You don't necessarily have to break up with them.
Nope.
You can get them back in line and get them kind of under your control, supervision. I don't know how to say it, but guidance. That's a good way to put it. But the Book of Dread, the link is down below. We think it's a great resource for exactly this kind of issue. We want you to win.